when I get to engage with people that I can look at them and see, wow, they are doing extraordinary things in the world. I want to engage. I want to show people the other side of us. But yeah, how are you, Chanelle, today? What's up? How's lockdown going?
I'm good, Jen. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. I think I need to pay you to do my PR. That's amazing.
It's all true. It's all
Thank
true. I'm not getting paid for any of this. This is not an ad.
Thank you so much, my friend. It's so good to connect, and I'm really excited to be on here today. The lockdown is good. I must say, I'm definitely more comfortable with the FaceTimes and the conference calls since this has become a thing now. But
Yeah.
yeah, keeping our heads up and trying to stay positive through all of it. There's still a lot of
Yeah.
uncertainty around what's going on, and how the next phases of the lockdown are going to be implemented. But we're taking it one day at a time, and we're doing our
Yeah.
best to as I said, just stay
Only
positive
way.
and
Only
stay
way to do
connected.
it. And
Exactly.
I think your positivity is something that is super infectious. And I'm just going to give people a bit of insight of what happened this morning. Is that I said Chanel was like, sometimes you wake up and you like, I'm going to boss this day. I'm going to have the best day, and I'm going to do everything I can possibly do. And this morning I woke up and I was like, I want to go back to bed. I'm too tired. And what you kind of said to me was like, it's okay to have those days, and it's okay
Yeah.
to do that. But at the end of the day, you still got to do what you kind of got to do, but you still got to be kind to yourself. And that, I think, is
Yeah.
something that is so infectious and so positive about your personality and about what you're about. And I think a lot of people that are watching, that I know are massive fans of you, and you have a huge support system around you, will know that you're a being of light. And whenever there's that kind of dark situation like we have with Corona, you will constantly make sure that you make the best out of it. So today I decided, let's speak about how we've kind of pivoted, but
Mm.
not only pivoting through this time, but let's add another layer of passionately pivoting. You are
Yeah.
extremely passionate about what you do on a daily basis. I'm
Yeah.
extremely passionate about what I do on a daily basis. And I think
Exactly.
when we bring our passions together, it's so remarkable. So the first thing I asked you to give me about 5 tips of how you have passionately pivoted through this time,
Mm.
because most of your job was traveling. It was going to Italy. It was
Yeah.
dealing with international people, and now you can't do that anymore. And the first one that you
Mm.
said to me was basically embrace the circumstances and use your time to the best of your ability. And that for me just resonated so much. So I want you to kind of
Yeah.
just like tell me more about it. I want to know.
Absolutely. And as you said, I think in all of this, we can only do our best given the circumstances.
Yeah.
Nobody expects us to find revolutionary new ways to do business. Nobody expects us to come out of this with new innovative ideas and new mindsets. But keeping a strong mindset in all of this, I think, has been the biggest pivoting factor for me.
Mm,
As I said earlier to you, I earlier this during the lockdown, I wrote an article on LinkedIn where I came across a quote by an Austrian neurologist, and he was also a Holocaust survivor. And
mm,
he quoted something that really resonated with me. And it said, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. And when I read
absolutely.
that, I truly, it's sat in such a good space that it basically, the whole impact of this lockdown is reliant on our mindset. We can choose to, let it affect us negatively. And yes, without a doubt, it has got its negative impacts on the economy, on the political situation. There's several that we can touch on. But what we can do
Mm.
as individuals with this time is of their importance. There's so many things that we need to focus our attention on just to stay in the light and to stay positive.
Yeah, you got to. And I think that's what, and a lot of, obviously, we never take away from people that are going through a really hard time. Like, there's people that have lost their jobs. And I always say it's very easy for us to sit in a position where we have a roof over our heads and we have the
Mm.
luxuries that we have, and say, be positive and do this and this and this. And there are a lot of people that they can't even eat. And what I think
Exactly.
is so extraordinary about our kind of beings is that we acknowledge that and we want to help more. Like
Absolutely.
you will post certain things about food drives, and you will be doing your absolute best. And I think that is something that is so extraordinary about you, is that you're not only a national marketing director of one of the biggest companies in the world, but you're also a human being that cares about other human beings. And you're also a being that you see, okay, I'm going through a bit of a hard time right now, but there are
Mm.
people that can't eat. And I owe my community to help them through that. And I think
Exactly.
the second one that you said was offering, and this is what I'm getting to, is that offering assistance, helping others, and giving advice where you can. And
Mm.
that was something. And when you send me these top five, I was like, oh, so happy that I'm doing this live with you, because we're so much on the same page. Like, we have the power, and even if, yes, you don't have the money to buy food or whatever, you have time to
Mm.
give it, and you have time
Exactly.
to care, and you have time to love, and you have time to shine your light. So, like, tell me, like, how have you been doing that kind of stuff in during lockdown, well, during coronavirus?
So yeah, so I mean during lockdown, I mean obviously being connected with our family and friends a lot more, you get to understand, and be empathetic towards what everyone's going through. Everybody's experiencing this on a different level, and I think it's important to realize that we are all in this together. Nobody's got it easy at this point in time. There are a
Mm,
lot of people out there that are suffering, that don't have food on their tables. Their businesses haven't paid their salaries. There's retrenchments happening. There's
mm,
events that have been cancelled. There's companies that are in dire strait because they can't afford to pay salaries for, and for families.
yeah,
So it's really a concerning time. And I think just by allowing ourselves to be empathetic and putting ourselves in another shoes, we realize that what can we give, and it might not
yeah,
be financial means all the time. It might not be that we have a product to sell to make profit, but what we do have is time. And again, it
yeah,
brings me back to to my point where I say use your time wisely. If you've got a skill or a talent where you can help others, whether it be, in my instance, I've used my knowledge for marketing to help family and friends, digitalize their companies, or to help them launch campaigns to raise funds or to raise money. I've done what I can with with my little bit of know-how, just to try and get everybody back into like a bit of a positive space and use what I know to help others. It might not mean much. It might not even, create much of an impact, but at least it's something. And at least I know that I'm using that time to try and help others around me, as opposed to loafing around and, moping about the circumstances.
yeah.
I think again, it's mindset.
But I think it's also you, whether, like, the fact that you've taken the time to do that, and it's also up to the other person. So for me, knowledge is power, but applied knowledge changes the game. So you can try
Exactly.
help people as much as possible, and you can offer your guidance, and you can say, this is what you do and this is how you do it. But if people are not willing to step up and take that power that you're giving them, and those tools that you're giving them, and use them, that is also not up to you. So you're like, here's my gift. This is what I'm choosing to do for you. And what I find about doing that is that it not only heals them, it also heals you. Like, when you've done something like that and you see someone shining and thriving, how much gratification you get from that. Like, I know personally, when I see someone rise, it is the best thing in the world. And that's so weird
Yeah.
for women to say, because normally we're like, oh no,
Exactly.
she's this or she's that. And I think that whole community, that we're like, when you rise, I rise, and then we rise
Absolutely.
together. And I
That
think
what
it's an
that's I
amazing,
think
amazing thing.
For sure. I think that's what makes you so incredible as well, Jen, is the fact that you are so empowering to women around you, and you really do thrive on seeing others thrive. And that's a really rare quality. So thank you for all your support
Yeah,
always as
like,
well.
I think it's, and for me, what is also so awesome is that you, when I had my first Women's Day event, you chose to come. You chose to take the time that you could be sitting at home, chilling, and with your busy day, you came to educate and empower yourself. And for me, if someone is willing to do that and take that time to do that, I will give them every single tool that I can possibly do, because you've done it. Like, you've already gotten that, like, you've stepped through the door. You've manned up, and
Mm,
you've womaned up, and you've, like, powered up.
exactly.
And then the third one that we spoke about was kind of keep pursuing your passions and hobbies remotely, which I think
Yeah.
is actually such a remarkable tip, because a lot of people think, okay, I can't go into the office now, so, oh, there's nothing I can do. And
Mm,
you
mm,
can create ways. You can think out the box. Like, what have you done? I've come to offices, and they're amazing, and it's such a cool vibe and beautiful experience. And now you're at home.
yeah.
You've taken that you in that space, and you've put it in your home. Like, how have you done that?
Exactly. So, the main thing with that is that, times are evidently changing, and the way we do business and the way we pursue what we love is going to have to change as well. We might not all be in a position where we can do our jobs from home or do them remotely. But what we can do is get creative and think outside the box and think,
Mm,
what can we plan for post lockdown? We are not going to be in lockdown forever. There is a
mm,
time where this is going to pass. And when that time comes, we want people to be ignited and be, on fire with us for what's to come.
mm,
So what are we doing to try and plan for what's ahead of us? Again, it's not it's a factor that we might not be able to, which might be quite limiting depending on what work we do. But at the
yeah.
same time, there are certain things that can be done from home, whether it be planning and strategizing or just staying in contact with your clients and your consumers,
Or
or possibly
passionately
just
making like banana bread or something, like doing something.
exactly. Exactly. Or pursuing your hobbies. We
Yeah.
complain that we live such a rushed life and that we constantly running, from errand to errand and there's no time to do what we really love. This is a great time for us to literally sit down and pursue what we enjoy doing. And maybe that leads to another business opportunity. Maybe it
Mm,
leads to something more empowering or more stimulating down the line. If we take time to actually think about what we love, as humans, we need to maintain our sense of belonging and our sense of worthiness by doing what fulfills us. And that can
yeah.
come in so many different means. So, do what works for you. You can journal, you can paint, you can cook, you can do vlogs, there's so much that one can do in the comfort of your own space, that doesn't take much. So I'd really do
Yeah.
encourage people just to do what they can with their own means, whatever those circumstances are, just to find stuff that really ignites your passion.
And I think what's so cool about the whole thing is that, like, for me, some people. So when I left, obviously my corporate job, I took a few months off because I hit like massive burnout, and that is something
Mm.
that I haven't really spoken to a lot of people about because I did hit massive burnout, and I'm sure you've hit it before. But even
Yeah,
if you're using this time to rest and recover
exactly.
and regain your being, like use the time and say, I'm using this time to do whatever suits my soul right now, and then I will
Exactly.
either launch or and that's why when a lot of people are like, oh, if you're not doing this, then you're not using your time. Well, no, because
Mm.
I'm an individual human. Like resting can also be beneficial for me in the future.
Exactly.
A lot of people
Exactly.
are putting their feet up, and a lot of people are moms that can't
Mm.
pursue businesses and they can't do stuff.
Mm.
But it's like allow your humanness, allow your space, and just kind of say, you know what works for me is going to work for me. And I think the
Completely.
big one that you said was you got to invest in yourself. So
Yeah.
you investing in yourself right now is applying for online courses, learning more, doing more, engaging. But the words invest in yourself for me is so powerful because
Yeah.
whether it's investing in rest or investing in cooking or investing in spending time with your family and seeing how your kids grow up, that is an investment. But your
Exactly.
investment, tell me like a bit of the courses that you've been doing, like what is out there that has resonated with you? Because there's so much content. And how do we know
Mm.
what resonates for us?
Absolutely. So I think what you said is completely, it's so relevant because, as you said, self-investment can come in so many different forms. Self-care is a huge one, and as you mentioned, rest is extremely important. I mean, obviously, there's certain things that I didn't do for the first week of being in lockdown. I
Mm,
refused to move out of my room. I was spring cleaning and resting because, again, as you said, you do what you need to do. It might not be jumping up and starting a business or pursuing something, revolutionary. It might be
yeah.
something as simple as just getting that rest and spring cleaning your cupboard, which is what I did, by the way, for the first week of lockdown. But
Come to my house. I'll get you a permit.
it was so great because, again, it was spending the time that we don't have during
Mm,
during this lockdown, doing the things that we never get a chance to do. But what I found was, after about the 10th day of lockdown, I started itching with a bit of like curiosity as to different courses that sparked my interest: photography courses, journalism courses, digital marketing courses. There were a whole lot of things that came up, and I actually resorted to an online course called Udemy Academy, where I registered for several courses. They vary in price from about 175 Rand to over
wow.
2,000 Rand. And they really are amazing. They compact, quite precise courses on various different topics. And I just found myself, like, after the 10th day, looking for things to educate myself and to further my knowledge. I felt that that was something that I wanted to invest in because I don't always have that extra time available when I'm working the 8 to 5 at the office, and
Mm,
our lifestyles don't always allow for that. So I think it's also really coming to terms with assessing your needs at that point in time. If learning is one of them and expanding your knowledge is one of them, then great. But also, if sitting on your bed and not moving for 3 days is one of them, then embrace that. I'm
Yeah.
totally with you on that one.
Of course, but I think you have the best of both. Like I think what's awesome about you is that you're very self-aware. You're like, okay, I'm gonna spring clean because I don't have time to normally do this. And you actually made a joke before we popped on the live that you're like, everything looks amazing, but I know the first week that I get back to work, it's gonna be an absolute mess again. So it's like you're aware, but you're
Literally.
realistic at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so I
exactly.
think that that's one of the things. It's like I'm aware of what is suiting me now, and I'm aware of, like, say tomorrow you might wake up and go, oh my god, I don't want to do a course, but
Yeah.
you won't feel shame. You won't feel like you are failing. You won't,
No.
like, this is a time where we don't need to feel those pressures, and we don't need to feel like the world is um consuming us and like, do you know what I mean? Like we kind of feel pressured. And I know your last tip was what helps you a lot is listening to podcasts and
Love
journaling
it.
and reading. And that for me is also, I know I'll wake up and I'll be in like a foul mood and I'll like
Mm.
smack on a motivational speech. And it's so funny because my mom even said to me, she was like, honestly, like all I can hear is shouting from your room. Like I have these like motivational speeches where they're like, you can do it. And I'm like, yes, I can. My
That
neighbors
is
must think
so
I'm an
funny.
absolute psycho. I promise you, they must think that I'm absolutely nuts. But that helps me. Then I get up and I'm like,
Exactly.
you can do it. And then I do it. So how
Yeah.
is reading? Like what kind of podcast do you listen to?
Oh, there's so many. So I'm a big fan of Jay Shetty.
Yeah.
There's a couple of religious ones that I'm into as well by Joel Osteen and Joyce Meyer. But there's so many at the moment. I mean, there are, if you go onto the Apple iPod service, there are millions and millions and millions for every sort of interest that you can think of, from personal
Mm,
branding to meditation. I mean, I've recently downloaded this meditation app, and I'm with you. I feel like I
mm,
have to have like my me time in the morning, even though I'm at home with my mom and my sister. Like I
yeah.
literally just need some time alone in the morning, just to find a balance. So again, podcasts have been very inspirational. They also just allow you to sit down and do nothing. If you want to journal or take a few
Mm,
comments while you're listening to them, they're extremely powerful. They sometimes also just allow your mind to like sit at ease. You not have to do anything
mm,
actively. You're just absorbing what you can when you can. Um, and I think we also spoke earlier during the lockdown, Jen, about journaling. It's a way to express our feelings properly, but at the same time,
mm,
I also feel it's very meditative. There's a soothingness about journaling and just expressing your feelings on paper, more so than being able to speak about them.
yeah.
So journaling has been a big factor in, allowing us to pivot our passions and to write down what are some of our ambitions, what are some of the things that we're working on, but also just to express how we're feeling. Maybe we're not
Yeah.
feeling great today, maybe we're feeling down and we're feeling a little bit demotivated. That's normal. Write those
Like,
feelings
dear
down
diary, I
because
need wine.
exactly. Exactly. But documenting all of these things might lead us to one day looking back and feeling inspired by a time that was really challenging.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to tell others, maybe our children one day, we lived through this really challenging time because it's unlike anything the world has seen, and this is
Yeah.
how we did it. This is how we got through it. And therefore, as I said, reading as well, it's my escape. I've never
Mm.
been a TV person up until I met my fiance. So he's encouraged me to go into the Netflix and chill vibe, but I still prefer reading any day.
Yeah, as
I'm a real
well.
bookworm. So, again, there's so much. I've been actually getting into my sister's textbooks for some crazy reason,
I
but
actually saw that. I thought it was amazing. And I think it's also
it's
like that's why we passionately pivoting. Like the things that you're doing, you've always done, but it's like more now. And there's a
mm,
question here I just want to ask you. So Mark says, Chanelle, is how do you pronounce it? Scuderia.
Scuderia. Scuderia, yeah.
Scuderia. Doing anything in around the community with any program during lockdown and beyond? Like, are they doing anything or anything like that?
Yes, absolutely. So we've been running a couple of local campaigns even prior to the lockdown. If you go onto our Facebook pages and onto my Facebook and Instagram page, you'll be able to see a bit more about the local initiatives that we are running. So
Mm,
just keep your eyes open. We are also obviously working quite closely with the head office in Maranello, where there are several initiatives being managed. They're producing masks. There's been a lot of charity runs. There's been a lot of positive PR that's been, a lot of activity that's been centered around helping those with COVID-19 and allowing
mm.
people in the community to assist as much as they can to support others in need. So yeah, if we are definitely doing what we can locally to support various platforms. But if you have any inquiries or you want to send through any requests, you're free to email me and send me your request via email and via WhatsApp if you'd like.
Yeah, like I think, and that's the one thing that I think I resonated so much with you is that because I posted a bit of your bio today on my stories, is that when you finished your degree, you essentially did start at the bottom, and
Yeah,
where like the way that you kind of built yourself up with self-confidence, self-love, knowing where you want to be in life, for me is it's so remarkable because I find a lot of people might just see your picture, your title, and kind of be like, oh, well, she just got there easily. But you didn't.
yeah,
You
not at
believe
all.
in the you have your youth programs. Like I know when I
Yeah,
was sitting in the offices and you were telling me so passionately about how you were working with this person and he was an apprentice and now this is where he is. And that for me is something that is remarkable because you look at the bottom and you go, how can I build people? And that is because you were there and you built yourself.
absolutely.
And it's amazing.
No, for sure. And I mean, I think that that's, every individual has an opportunity to help others around them. It doesn't have to be on a large scale, but if you can help one person, maybe it's somebody that's lacking a bit of direction or somebody that needs a little bit of
Mm,
motivation or that needs to overcome fear to launch something, we can all be there to support each other. And I mean, as you said, we've all started somewhere. My story starts literally right at the bottom. There
mm,
was no promising career aspects for me or prospects for me at all. I literally started as a receptionist answering telephones. I had no massive accreditations behind me, no huge experiences on my CV. I literally worked hard every single day and stayed committed to what I felt was my passion, and it's led me to a bigger space. But what we do with that, with our time and space as we work up our way up the ranks is very important. And I think that we all need to just be conscious of the fact that we can help others around us, whether it be on a big scale or a small scale. It all makes a massive impact.
yeah, I think for me, like that is, as I said, when you have someone that is not only in a high position and dealing with massive corporations and traveling and also managing a fiance and friends and family and still being a good human being, that for me is like it's like you've won the life lottery. Do you know what I mean? Like it's it's so self gratifying. Like it's so fulfilling. And
Yeah.
when you wake up every day, you get to know that you're adding value and you're adding impact. And yeah, I'm a as you know, I'm like a massive fan.
Oh,
I
Jen,
use
thank you so
blabbering, I don't
much.
even know what to say. But yeah, like I think
But if it weren't for people and women like you supporting each other, we'd also have no
mm,
platforms to stand on and to nurture on. I mean, we have to be able to grow with each other, and we have to be able to lend a hand to seeing others grow. We can't keep all that we have to ourselves. We have to empower people, share what we know. We have to be able to transcend, which is very much why I'm so in awe of Impassion Transcend Yourself,
yeah.
because you guys have allowed so many opportunities for people from various different platforms to share their knowledge and their know-how with others, and that is so empowering. It's what if it weren't for that, then what are we doing in this life?
Yeah, like what is our value? And I think what is so cool is that yes, it's a very scary time, but you also know that no matter what, you will keep doing your best. Yes, you'll have low days, yes, you'll have bad days, but you keep rocking it. And I think I know for me, and I'm not going to go too much into detail because after this, Chanel and I have actually we've decided that we're going to do an ebook for people. So with all the lessons and everything that we've discussed, we're going to kind of dig a little bit deeper, and it's going to be free, and it's kind of for whenever you're feeling a little bit stuck, and whenever you're feeling like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable, I'm not quite sure to do what to do,
Mm.
you've got that on your email, and you've got that on hand. And I'm not saying for any minute like people should listen to what I have to say. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
This morning I
Yeah.
even cut my puppy's ears. He looks ridiculous. Like he's running around and one ear is like here and the other ear is here. And I'm just like, oh, no. But what I'm
Oh
saying
my
is that if
gosh.
we can add value and you can read this and it can make you feel better, I really
Exactly.
implore people to like pop their email address in the comments and then we'll send it to you. And like for me, I'm not going to go very much in detail about my 5 ones, but the first one is just I let go of the past and what I thought this year should be. I was
Yeah.
planning on building my company and doing all these events, and then it happened, and
Mm.
I was like, oh crap. I
Yeah.
finally got there. Now the world is gonna end. Like shit.
It's
We
crazy.
keep
It's
moving, and
crazy.
we have amazing people in our lives, and it's kind of like we all bossed up, we all
Mm-hmm.
educated and empowered ourselves, and we also
Mm.
like it was very humbling to know that we can learn from others. Like we
Exactly.
sometimes think, oh, I read all these books and I know all of this, and I rely on all these celebrities to teach me information, but the person that is following you on social media or Instagram, or like I admire moms right now. Honestly, like I
Absolutely.
admire moms
Absolutely.
always, but even more now. You
Yeah.
have to run a business, take care of your kids. I was on the phone to a mom the
Yeah.
other day, and she
Yeah.
was chasing the bunny because the kid was chasing the bunny, and the bunny had a broken foot,
Oh
and
no.
I just on the phone going like this, and she's like, "Sorry, one of our guinea pigs died yesterday." I was like,
Oh no.
honestly,
Oh
you
my
deserve
gosh.
victory. And I think it's
No,
like
it's tough.
when you see that you're adding value and impact, and I'm sure you'll agree that adding
Mm.
value and impact right now is more important than a paycheck. Like, yes, money will
Absolutely.
come. Yes, you need money, but adding that a little bit of value into people's
Yeah.
lives, to me, fulfills
Yeah.
me more than any sort of money would right now.
Completely. And it's not going to go to waste. I mean, people will remember what you did for them or how you made them feel long after the lockdown is over and long after
Mm,
the stress of finances and businesses and the economy are past us. People will always remember how you made them feel, especially over a time of
exactly.
need. So that's very important.
And I think, yeah, same thing with you. Like, yes, you're still in a job. Yes, you're in a position, but it's still uncertain for you. Like, as much as we can sit here and say, oh, you have a job and you're getting a salary, well, that might
No,
change tomorrow. You don't know where
exactly.
everything's going. And I
Exactly.
think
And I mean, it's not easy to assume that everybody is in a comfortable position. Everybody has their challenges, and this hasn't been easy on any business, to date. So we all have to be very compassionate and very empathetic to what the next person is going through. We might feel that, or it might appear on social media that people have got it all figured out and all worked out, but don't be naive to the fact that everybody's got challenges and everybody has got their trials. So it's,
yeah, of course.
just remember that. So yeah.
We're all human, and like, yes, I know that some people, their biggest thing is putting food on the table. And for on my work, like even when I think of it, I get so emotional. I'm such a baby. Sometimes I just
Yeah.
randomly cry. I get so upset because it's like
As is.
you you want to help, and sometimes you can't. And I think
Yeah.
for me, the last kind of lesson that I learned was I started from step one again, right? And then I started to plan my other 10 steps. It wasn't
Mm.
about making my business explode. It wasn't about doing all of that. I was like, okay, I got to start at step one. It's me and my
Yeah.
laptop. And what
Yeah.
can I do every day, even if it's just giving 10%? If that's what I have, I'm going to do that. And I think like
Absolutely.
we've embraced it. And I know that when we're sitting traveling in the next couple of years, sipping on wine, we're going to talk about this exact talk and say, remember when we spoke about that, and look how things were, but we
Yeah.
overcame it together because we had a tribe.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. And I think, once again, this will come to pass. There's going to be a time where we'll look back at this and say we overcame the most difficult time in our
Mm,
lives. I mean, as I said, we basically making history now. Everybody
mm.
at home, we're all making history. This is a time that we're going to talk about in years to come. So hang in there. But I think that the main thing again is just to maintain a positive outlook and do what you can. Don't feel pressurized by any standards or any way of life that you should be doing more or that you should be, you know, um, achieving more, feeling a certain way. We're all human at the end of the day, and we just need to do the best that we can.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why for me it's actually been so nice connecting, because when we both have those same thoughts, it's like, like it makes you feel good inside. You know what I mean? Like, and you can go on with your day knowing that there's been like even a little bit of value added. And yeah, I just want to thank you so much
Completely.
for when I contacted you, you were so open about it. You're like, yes, let's do it. I'm free, blah blah blah. And just your willingness is for me, it's amazing, because you are
Thank you.
busy. Even though you're at home, you're still working, you're still doing courses, but you took this time to add value to people's lives, and I think it's remarkable. And yeah, like, if I think if anyone has watched this and they want to reach out, whether it doesn't have to do with marketing or law or anything, and even if it's basics, we here. And if
Exactly.
we can add value and you can pop us a message, we will add that value. And yeah, I
Absolutely.
think, like, what are your socials? What is your email address? Just give a bit of the information, and when we have that information, we will put it in an ebook and we will send it to everyone. And as I said, if you guys have
Perfect.
any questions, just reach out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're here to help each other at the end of the day. We're all in this together, and we will come out of it triumphantly. As Cyril Ramaphosa said, he said South Africans are the most resilient people that he's known, and we really are.
Mm,
We're going to come
mm.
out of this with flying colors, and we will come out of this and tell a greater story. So yeah, we just have to hang in there. And Jen, thank you for this amazing opportunity. I truly am in awe of you, and Impassion transcending your
Like, no,
power.
you
It's
stop. No, you stop. Like, you're actually
no,
so
you
cute.
stop. But no, in all honesty, you are amazing, and the world needs more women like you. You are remarkable, and thank you for your time and for reaching out to me. I'm truly honored to have been able to connect with you, and I
Mm.
know that there's a plan and a purpose that we did so many years ago. So thank you, and I know that
Yeah.
the world is your oyster.
Yeah.
This is only the start for you. So keep inspiring and changing lives as you are.
This is only the beginning. As I said, we're going to work on things in the future, and it's going to be amazing. And thank you for everyone that is watching this. Thank you for taking the time for us to kind of add that value. And as
Yeah,
I said, reach out, and we've got you.
we've got
We'll
you.
chat to
We'll
everyone
get through
soon and
this.
have the most beautiful day.
Thank you so much, Jen. Thanks, guys.
Peace.
See you soon.
Thank you so much, and we'll have
Bye.
the most beautiful day.
Thanks, Jen.